like father, like daughter. Ayaw rin umarap ni Duterte sa ICC. Diba? Ayaw umarap ng daughter. Tanong ko, is the refusal to face the court, ICC or the House Committee, is that a political or a legal or a moral?
Committee, sabi na, there will be a bloodbath. Hindi isang patak ng dugo, wala akong makita. Eh kasi ayaw ba eh. Has she turned chicken?
I will answer that very incisively. You right here, she does not want to go there because she does not have to. That is the right of every person, either in a criminal case, a civil case, or in any case. Okay, I will throw the question back, not to my good friend, but to those in the house saying na bakit siya ayaw humarap. Luis ko, bakit yung asawa mo ina-accuse ng rape? Di mo pinaharap, tinago mo, inamin mo di ba? Oh, number one. Number two, De Lima, nung ikaw ay iniimbestigahan ng House Committee doon sa so-called believing drug trade, di ka rin humarap. Oh, we respect na. Sabi ang complainants doon, bakit ngayon you turn around and say, yung dapat it should be taken against the Vice President. Hindi humaharap si VP dahil nakita na niya doon sa Quadcom that she is just legitimizing the proceedings. Number two, she now has a pending petition before the Supreme Court questioning the very proceedings na sinasabing ayaw niya humarap. By going there, it may be interpreted as tantamount to a waiver of her causes of action before the Supreme Court. So that is the short answer. Very logical, is well within her rights, there is a pending case at ayaw niyang magamit sa mga, ito na rin ang sabi ng term, ayaw magpagamit sa mga clowns, diba? Sabi nga nila, di ba? When a clown becomes president, the clown does not become presidential. The palace becomes a circus.
Robert, with that, I think we need to address some questions from media. So, alam niyo po, pag itong tatlong kasama ko rito, magsama kami, I think 3 hours will not be enough. Just discussing and disagreeing to agree, or agreeing to disagree. So, let me open the floor to questions from media. Go ahead, please, sir.
Good morning, sir. TJ Mendoza from Net25. Naalis na po si Saldico. Nagpahayag na po ang Senado na handa sila imbitahan si Saldico sakali makabalik na siya dito through as he said Panfilo Lacson na sinabi niya po yun. Pero kanina rin, nakausap po namin si Lincoln Teremidon if willing naman sila imbitahan sa House para magkaroon ng pagdinig din. Pero ang sabi ni Kong Terry ay papaubayan na lang po nila sa Ombudsman. May we get any comment po with that statement?
Security pa.
Alam mo, double-edged yung, double-bladed yung pagkakapture kay Saldico. Kasi the problem with Saldico now is that of course he is going to try to save his team. Diba? Nag-upload na ng mga video messages siya, exonerating himself and telling the country na ang nagputos niya, si Romualdez at saka si BBM. Di ba? Yun ang sinasabi niya. So, kung ba, sasabihin ng House na tatawagin siya under what committee? Kaya, under what committee? Siguro, it could also give Saldico a platform to be able to propagate his own version of his story. Di ba na, kasalanan dito, inutusan lang ako ni Romualdez. At saka, syempre, to add more leverage to his bargaining position, isasakundan niya si BBM. Sabihin niya, kasama yung presidente dito. Get the person of top. Kaya medyo, you have to be also a little bit worried about Saldico. I am personally happy that Saldico is finally caught. Kasi he must be brought here, not for the purpose of listening to what he has to say. Kasi polluted na yan eh. But for the purpose of him answering to accountability, to be able to suffer the penalties for the blunder that he has done. Siya ang chairman ng Appropriations Committee. Hindi mangyayari lahat yung mga nakawan na ginawa nila sa flood control projects without the indispensable participation of Sandico. So Sandico must face the country now. And if he has any conscience left in him, total, delikado naman ang buhay niya, sabihin na lang niya yung totoo. Sabihin niya lahat ang totoo. Huwag niyang dagdagan, huwag niyang bawasan, sabihin niya lahat ang totoo. I hope he will do that.
Attorney Ferdy, please.
Well, that is what I have been saying kanina, double standard. The motives that JB, by the way, before I begin, if JB says he hates to agree with me, I always love it when JB agrees with me. And I always love it when I agree with JB because we agree on so very few things. Anyway, yan ang sinasabi ko double standard, with all due respect to JB. Yung motivation na sinasabi niya kay Salvi to save his own skin ay pwede rin sabihin kay Madriaga. That's number one, di ba? He's trying to save his own skin. Number two, why would we block the testimony of Salvico when, sabi ni JV, this will give him a platform to propagate his own version? Hindi ba ang katotohanan, marami-raming versions at titignan mo kung anong version ang totoo? Why are we listening to the version of Madriaga and not Salvico? Ito pong si Salvico, hindi naman hearing ito sa impeachment. He will be called as a resource person to the House or the Senate, and then he will be subjected to probing questions from all the learned senators there and all the learned members of the House doon sa own version ng Blue Ribbon ng House of Representatives. Alam niyo po, ito nga ang nagtataka ko, no? Bakit pagka makakasira kay BBM, binablock? Bakit pag kay Sara Duterte, hindi binablock? All versions should be given prominence. Para yan yung kung napanood yung pelikulang Rashomon. Maraming versions ng truth eh. Then titignan mo, ano ba ang paniwala dito? Kung si Ping ay iimbitahin niya si Salvico, iimbitahin niya rin yung 18 Marines kasi kinocorroborate noon yung version ni Salvico. Gamitin din niya ang powers ng Senado para hanapin si Gutesa. Mag-imbita rin siya ng mga kontra. Yung mga nagsasabing sinungaling si Salvico at sinungaling yung 18 Marines. Diyan lang po natin malalaman kung ano talaga ang totoo. I-cross-examine nyo, i-background check nyo, but all should be invited. And that is the reason why Ping cannot get the signatures necessary for a partial report. Mula-mula, the concept of a partial report is ridiculous. Paano kung partial report may dumating na development? Parang yan, si Salvico dumating. Bakit gusto mong ipalabas yung partial report? Baka mapa-conclusion on with intervening circumstances. Yan ang kalokohan ni Ping eh. Tapos isusisisihin niya yung mga kapwa niya senador. Ayaw daw pumirma. Wala pong obligasyon under the Constitution pumirma ng kahit anong report ang senador. Whether they sign or not is subject to their own individual discretion. Parang yung family report ni Rick Gordon, walang gustong pumirma, dalawa lang yata sila. That is the essence of a collegial body. Hindi porket ikaw ang chairman, that gives you the right to impose upon your fellow senators. Na pirmahan niyo ito, hindi. You are not doing your duty. Kalokohan yung sinasabi ni Senator Ping na yun. So, ang akin din dito, invite Salvico to the House in the same manner that you have invited Madriaga, we have invited so many witnesses there. Invite Salvico to the House, invite the 8 Marines, invite yung mga congressmen na tinatanggi nila. Sina Stella Kimbo na hindi sila tumanggap, si Martin, invitahin nyo. Lahat invitahin nyo. And i-televise nyo. Let the people decide who is telling the truth and who is not telling the truth. Let the people decide because the people are smarter than this elite think they are. Matalino po ang taong bayan.
Father Robert, you want to react on the Salvico development?
Opo, si Madriaga sa kasasabi ko, hindi ko po sila parang kakilala personally. So, Nagsasabi ba ng totoo si Madriaga? Nagsasabi ba ng totoo si Santico? Ngayon, pag kinuha sa isang forum, katulad yan, sa Kongreso, there's so much pressure on the person who is standing at the witness stand, who is in the witness stand, to save his neck. So whether it's Madriaga or Santico, pero yun ang problema. Kailangan talaga go beyond the political and the legal and get to the truth. So kung totoo yung sinasabi ni Madriaga, therefore, nandun yung prima facie, probable cause, tapos huwag nang mag-umpisa mag-senta nun, i-transmit na. Kaya lang, ibang usapan pag nakalipo sa Senado, natatakot tayo. Pero para kasi, I think, gusto ko lang sabihin at the end of this discussion, hindi masyado ng pag-uusapan yung moral and cultural impact ng lahat ng ito. Let me just give you two short stories now. This happened to me personally. Nung ang Presidente si Duterte, lahat ng mga bata sa parokya ko nagmumura ng PI. Lahat ng mga bata nagmumura ng PI. Eh kami mga pare, bawal sa amin magmura ng PI. Ngayon, nagmumura na ng mga bata. Okay. Pangalawa, I was, during the Duterte administration, early, 2016, nagsisimula na yung war games show. Nakasakay ako sa isang taxi driver. Sabi ng taxi driver, Father, okay itong presidente natin. Talagang pag drug addict, drug pusher, drug lord, dapat patayin. Dapat patayin without due process. Opo, kasi ang mga pulis naman, alam naman sila kung sino dapat patayin. Ay talaga, alam ng pulis kung sino dapat patayin. So, he went on and on, extolling the virtues of President Duterte until I asked him this question. Paano na po kapag yung anak niyo po ay nahuling nagdodroga o nagtutulog ng droga? Ano gagawin ko? Dadalhin ko sa pulis at sa harapan ko, hihingin ko sa pulis na patayin ang anak ko. That was really the depths of my desperation. For a father to say, it is okay, killing is okay pumatay. Maski na sariling anak ko, pwedeng patayin kasi okay, yung moral campaign ni Duterte, it was a moral campaign. That was their narrative. Drug is destroying the moral fiber of our country. So therefore, we have to eliminate the cause from the very root. Patayin ng lahat hanggang sa drug lord. Pero hindi naman nakakarating sa drug lord.
Let's, sabi lang, we have two more questions from media.
Kasi yung kay Santico, meron nga palang technical problem. Kasi sabi ko ang sumarang katalis from the Santiago Parliament. So, any invitation by both houses, you have to go to Santiago. Hindi pwede yan imbitahin ng walang approval for Santiago. Parang Santiago.
Correct. Go ahead, please.
Yes, I'm Salvador Economy from Runa Balita, Pilipinas, and Tagline Vlog. Tatanong ko lang po kay Atty. Topacio at saka kay Atty. Regarding po doon sa pag-file po ng impeachment doon po sa lower house. Noong unang-unang batch na nag-file ng impeachment laban kay VP Sara, 100% tinanggap po. Bakit po yung pangalawang batch na they knows na nandun po lahat ng ebidensya? Nagdahilan po sila na walang sekretary at hindi po matanggap yung impeachment for the second time around. Na yun po yung magpo-prove. Yun po yung magpo-prove kung ano ang mayroon doon sa impeachment. Dinala nila Atty. Topacio laban po doon sa impeachment PBBM. Diba? First time, nag-file ng case kay VP Sara yung first batch. Tinanggap nila laban VP Sara. For the second time around, dumating po yung second batch, nag-file ng impeachment laban kay PBBM. Hindi po yung tinanggap dahil mali-maleta po yung dalang ebidensya. What would you say regarding with that sa pangyayari po yan, Atty. Topacio?
Well, proceeding from the issue of the quality and quantity of evidence, mag-focus na lang tayo sa procedure. Para sa amin po ay dapat tinanggap because the Constitution says it is the Secretary General. The Office of the Secretary General, hindi yung Secretary General mismo. Kung wala yung Secretary General, hindi naman niya dinala yung buong opisina niya. Pagdating naman namin doon, may deputy siya, may mga desk naman doon, may computer, may printer, andun naman yung opisina, dapat tinanggap. But anyway, going to the impeachment again, Ako po ay veterano na ng impeachment. Many of you may not remember that I was one of the two persons who successfully impeached then Comelec Chairman Andres Reyes. At I agree again with JV. Ito po ay political eh. Yung amin po ito, very briefly with the kind permission of Attorney Mison. Yung amin po, they tried to block it sa House. Nagbotohan, insufficient daw in form. Okay. Ngayon, hindi nag-agree yung House Justice Committee Chairman, then the late Ray Umali. Ang ginawa namin, dinala namin sa plenary, overwhelmingly, the House Committee was overruled and the articles were transmitted to the Senate. Ito ngayon, this is where the present situation comes in. Di ba sabi nila gusto nila mabilis? Bakit hindi pa nila gawin yun? Bakit hindi pa nila i-transmit agad sa Senate para mag-trial na? Hindi nila gagawin kasi gagamitin na niya na yung hearing para sirain si VP Sara. Kayang-kaya nila yan. Don't let anyone tell you different. 1/3. Sisiw. Diba? Oh, pero bakit hindi? Again, sinisira nila si Sara, pinagamit nila yung hearing. Thank you po.
Yes, ako naman. Ito, instead of answering, tatanungin ko yung pangyayari ko. Eh bakit ba kasi ayaw humarap ni VP Sara doon sa hearing? Alam mo, nung merong Quadcom, pinaharap ni VP Sara yung Quadcom. Di ba? Tinakano nga niya, pinapiloso ko na lahat yung mga congressman doon eh, pinabarumba doon eh. Forgive me for saying, isa nang dating na parang binabastos niya, di ba? Oh. Quadcom yan ha, Quadcom. Ito, Justice Committee. Binigyan siya ng, kasi sabi ng Supreme Court eh, hindi naman yan nasa konstitusyon, sabi ng Supreme Court. O kayo, House Justice Committee. At every stage of the proceedings, bigyan nyo ng pagkakataon ng respondent na sumagot. Kasi yan ang due process. Kaya lang kasi, alam mo yung due process, you will find that in Section 1 of Article 3 of the Constitution. It is only available if there is a threat to life, liberty, and property. Impeachment does not involve any of these things. Kasi yung impeachment, tinatanggal mo yung high official na hindi mo pwedeng ihugla. You cannot sue these people eh. You cannot. So you have to first remove them by means of impeachment. Ngayon, ang point ko dito, you know, doon sa stage ng House, political yan, father. Wala na tayong magagawa ito kahit i-fine ng Supreme Court. Hindi! Primarily legal yan. Sabi ni Chief Justice, yung legal, doon na kayo sa legal pagdating sa Senate. Kasi dyan yung evidence eh. Dyan na yung trial. Kaya tama na naman si Panyero, huwag kayong mag-trial dyan sa Justice Committee. Ang tanong lang, bakit pa ayaw marap ni Vice President sa Justice Committee? Sabi niya, there will be a bloodbath. Hindi isang patak ng tubo, wala akong makita. Eh kasi ayaw ba eh. Has she turned chicken?
I will answer that very incisively. Yung right to appear, she does not want to go there because she does not have to. That is the right of every person, either in a criminal case, a civil case, or in any case. Okay, I will throw the question back, not to my good friend, but to those in the House saying na bakit siya ayaw humarap. Luis ko, bakit yung asawa mo na-accuse ng rape? Di mo pinaharap, tinago mo. Inabi mo eh, di ba? Oh, number 1. Number 2, De Lima, nung ikaw ay iniimbestigahan ng House Committee doon sa so-called believing drug trade, di ka rin humarap. Oh, we respect that. Sabi ang complainants doon, bakit ngayon you turn around and say, yung dapat it should be taken against the Vice President. Hindi humaharap si VP dahil nakita na niya doon sa Quadcom that she is just legitimizing the proceedings. Number 2, she now has a pending petition before the Supreme Court questioning the very proceedings na sinasabing ayaw niya humarap. By going there, it may be interpreted as tantamount to a waiver of her causes of action before the Supreme Court. So that is the short answer. Very logical, is well within her rights, there is a pending case at ayaw niyang magamit sa mga, ito na rin ang sabi ng term, ayaw magpagamit sa mga clowns, di ba? Sabi nga nila, di ba? When a clown becomes president, the clown does not become presidential. The palace becomes a circus.
Robert, please react. And then we have one last question after this. Go ahead, sir.
Like father, like daughter. Ayaw rin umarap ni Duterte sa ICC. Diba? Ayaw umarap ng daughter. Ano, tanong ko, is the refusal to face the court, ICC or the House Committee, is that a political or a legal or a moral decision? Kung political, may political advantage eh. Yung mga pro-Duterte nandun, nagrarali kung ano nang sasabihin. Kasi kawawa si Digong. Pag umarap yan eh, bubugin, etc. Yung gano'n rin sasabihin ng mga supporters ni Sara, huwag ka nang umarap, ma'am. Malakas ang political base mo. Legal. They have the right not to appeal. Pero moral. Kung wala kang, kung you're not guilty, face the music and sit there until proven that you are guilty and or not guilty.
And if I may respond very quickly, you know, yung line na kung walang tinatago, bak ayaw humarap, is the biggest BS that has ever been bedded down. Marami pong reasons. Even the Supreme Court has recognized in a number of cases na flight is not necessarily an indication of guilt. Marami kasi yan. I can give that to you. Just not right now, but you can Google it up. Okay. Now yung sinasabi ni Father, ni Reverend Robert Reyes, the moral, alam niyo po, kaya tayo secular country. Our rules are an amalgamation of legal, political, and moral. Kasi kung puro moral na lamang, para tayong mga Muslim countries sa Sharia, magnakaw ka, putulin yung kamay mo, di ba? O, manilip ka, tukwatin yung mata mo, bulatin ka, di ba? O, gano'n na lang tayo. Hindi pwedeng puro moral. In the same way, hindi puro legal, hindi pwedeng puro political. Balance po yan. So, legally, na-explain ko na po, hindi ulitin, na they are well within their rights. Yung kay Duterte, hindi ko ma-discuss masyado dahil may pending case po sa Korte Suprema at magiging sub-judice. And again, with all due respect to Attorney J.D., the Supreme Court is entitled to full faith and credit. Kahit even if you disagree, huwag tayo sanang magbibigay ng any insinuations or allusions that something is going on aside from the legitimate processes of adjudicating cases. Lalo na kung wala tayong pruweba. Sabi nga nila, the Supreme Court is not final because it is infallible. It is infallible because it is final. We may debate to death yung mga kaso noon, pero pag naglabas na po yan, huwag na po nating salaunain yung motibo unless may pruweba po tayo. Okay, so yun po ang sinasabi ko. They are well within the rights. Yung sa ICC, there are jurisdictional, political, and other questions na nasa Supreme Court. Hindi pa naman po ako makapag-komento. But rest assured, hindi po dahil guilty kaya ayaw humarap. Not necessarily the case. And I'm sure a lot of people will agree with me on that. Salamat po.
One last question from media before we pack it up for today. Go ahead, please, sir.
Good morning. Edna po ng Rubus Tabloid. Ako po ay namumulihanan nung sa inyong lahat dyan sapagkat napakasimple lang na probable cause ay parang nahihirapan nyo kayo. Umahon-ahon ang listahan. Siguro, maruin po no, sa sunod ipitahan nyo naman po yung graduate ng Wangbo University. Sapagkat nasalita mo yung Korte Suprema hindi mo sa Wangbo graduate ng Wangbo University. Atty. Topacio, ako pwede mo pag isama ko
Hindi lang graduate yun, partner. Siya pang Dean of the College of Law ng Wangbo University. The same person who said, pwede natin i-disregard yung order ng Supreme Court.
Ano ko kayo ng stand mo no? May order na po yung Supreme Court. Bakit tinuloy pa rin yung impeachment kay Sara Duterte?
Walang order. Hinihintay ng Senado yung articles of impeachment kung makaka-find ng probable cause. And I agree with Attorney Topacio. Doon na magpunta eh. Magkakaroon ng finding yan. And to my mind, whether or not there is finding, it's still prerogative. After all, the Constitution gave them a power. Exclusive. Exclusive. Ibig sabihin, pwera kayo lahat. Siya lang ang pwede mag-initiate. Walang pwede makialam. In fact, can Congress abuse its prerogative? Yes, we can abuse. Yes. Just not make it grave. Kasi pag naging grave na, iba na yan. That is whimsical, capricious, tyrannical to the extent that you are not doing your duty anymore. That you are just oppressing the respondent. Yan ang grave abuse. Yan lang ang pwede mag-step in ng Supreme Court. But if the abuse is simple abuse, Congress can do it. Under the Constitution, pwede yan. Ngayon, the Supreme Court naman can make mistakes eh. Kaya nga lang, sabi nga ni Atty. Topacio, that mistake is law of the land. Wala tayong magagawa. Unless it is reversed. It is reversed. Kasi nire-reverse din naman ang Supreme Court ng sarili niya. Pagka nagbago ang position niya, for example, re-reverse niya yung doctrine. Aalisin niya yan. Dapat kasi, the Supreme Court, I don't want to advise the Supreme Court, but this is just a comment from a common citizen, not necessarily a lawyer. No? Na considering, one, the Supreme Court justices are themselves impeachable. So if they make impeachment difficult, they grant themselves a favor. Kasi pagod sa kanila yun eh. Pagka pinahirapan nila, kamukha kayo, yun ang sinasabi ni Senate President Soto, which by the way, I think, wag na natin iyahamit at hominem, I think he's been saying sensible things about the Supreme Court decision. And he has the prerogative to say that. After all, he is Senate President. Kung equal sila eh. Kung sabihin ng Supreme Court, mas magaling siya kay Soto, hindi pwede. Dahil ang power nila equal under the Constitution. I-balance mo yan. So he can say it. And number two, the Supreme Court should have been very sensitive about the fact that most of them, I think, 12 or 13 of them, are appointees of, former President Rodrigo Duterte. And therefore, whatever they do, they should be careful kasi yung beneficiary ng kanilang decision is a daughter of the very person who appointed them. In theory kasi, when a member of the Supreme Court, or for that matter, any elected na constitutionally, is appointed by, say, the President, it is, whatever political debt is cut, dapat tapos na yun. When one is given the oath, then the loyalty of that official must be to the country now, to the oath. He must be independent and autonomous, and not beholden to the appointing power. But, you cannot take away from the minds of the people that if they do this, and it benefits Duterte, and most of them are Duterte appointees, a conclusion, fairly or unfairly, may be made. So that we were asking the Supreme Court sana, restraint, more prudence naman, more caution naman. So now, there is now again another petition by Sara Duterte. And I think the Duterte supporters, the so-called BTS, are expecting another favorable decision from the Supreme Court. That will be the last day in the COVID. Pagka yan i-agree na, maliwanag pa sa sikat ng araw, di ba? Na medyo may pinapabura na dito. Let Congress do its job. Let it file the articles if there's already 1/3 vote from the plenary. And then, let us give the trial before the Senate, sitting as a court. That is the legal aspect of impeachment. Because now, the case is before a court. Congress was just a committee and a plenary. It is not a court. Pag sumampa na yan sa court, Senate, impeachment court, then that is the time when the full panoply of due process must be respected and upheld. Kasi dyan, pwede mo nang i-cross-examine ang mga witnesses. Kaya si Madriaga, hindi mo talaga pwedeng sabihin kung credible yan o hindi. Pwede mo lang i-comment, as an unprofessional observation, credible, But you cannot really test his credibility because in the House, in the Justice Committee, clarificatory hearing does not allow cross-examination. You cannot test the credibility of the witness. If trial commences in the Senate, that is the occasion when the lawyers of Sara Duterte, like the eminent Atty. Topacio, can test the credibility of Madriaga whether he is saying the truth or not. Kasi meron akong cross-examination.
And on that note, I think time is running out. And like I said, we will never have enough time if we have Father Robert, Attorney Ferdy, and Attorney JV in one table. Maubusan pa tayo ng oras. I think I like the way Father Robert said that it has to be, the impeachment process is both political, legal, and moral. And ako naman, on the part of whatever statements has been said here, it's very difficult to ascribe any wrongdoing unless there are evidence, right? Because we are governed by the rule of law. Very difficult to ascribe misgivings or even mga hidden transactions. Here, in Everything for Good, here in Impact Publishing, here at the agenda, what we are after for is really justice. And justice can be had either here, applying the law of the land, or reading the law of the Lord. And Attorney JV, there is still a higher court than the Supreme Court. But it is not up to us to decide. So with that, maraming salamat po sa inyong pagpapakinig. Mabuhay ang Panginoon, mabuhay ang Pilipinas, mabuhay ang Pilipino. Maraming salamat po.